Okay, let's see here. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and get you promoted here, so hang on to your seats. Oops. Let's see, Betty, Gil, Kathy, Kevin, Lou, Melanie, Michael, Rob. Let me just double check here. Tom. Let's see, I think I've got everybody so far. Hey, Tom, thanks again for coming out Saturday night. That was it's always great to see you and Sheila, and we'll really appreciate you coming out to celebrate Grammy's birthday. Dad, good to see you. Yeah. Okay. Melanie, I just finished myself too, like lightning fast supper. So, and boy, was it good. So Tom, I ate the rest of my leftovers from Saturday night, and oh man, good thing I don't eat German food every day of the week.
Sheila had hers this evening.
Well, oh, sorry, I couldn't hear anything, guys. My sound was off. Sorry. If you were saying something to me, please forgive me. I'm not deaf, it's just maybe dumb a little bit. So I'm sorry. What were you saying, Tom?
Sheila had the rest of hers this evening.
Yeah. Oh man. Now the problem is I want some of that dessert,
Yes.
So okay, let's see here. Michael. Okay. I think I've got everybody. We're going to give a few more minutes. Let me check my email real quick here. First, to have Brody on tonight on Idealestate. So let me check my email real quick. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and unmute yourself or type them in the chat box, because we can support each other while I'm locating the teacher for tonight. Let's see. Brody Saunders, there we go. Can we do a quick text here? Let's see. Text. Okay. 801-550-3424. Okay. Oops. I hope you are well. Make class. Everyone is on. Thank you, Gary Wilson. Okay, hopefully we'll get Brody on here in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Nellie, good to see you. Lisa, good to see you. Good call. Let me check panelists. Okay. I don't see Brody yet, but we'll give another a few more minutes. Hey, Gina, good to see you. Okay. Let's see here. While we're waiting, is Laura Janvier on? I don't see Laura on. I wanted to follow up with the cash flow club. And Andre's on. Hey, Andre, good to see you, buddy. Yeah. Hey, a quick question here, guys, is if you're going, or who's going to EXP Shareholder Summit? And that's June 19th through 21st, or 22nd if you're an Icon agent. Anybody? I know I'm going. Is anybody else going? Gina's going. Andre's going. Okay. Okay. So you know that's where all the cool kids are going to be. So
At least 3 of them.
yeah.
Wait, going where, Gary? I'm sorry.
Go to the Shareholder Summit.
Oh, yeah, I'm going.
Oh, cool. So see, guys, there's one official cool person. The rest of us
Good job,
only
Lisa.
super cool. You know.
I met Lisa at the one of the other last events.
Did you?
That
Oh,
was,
cool.
that was
Yep,
great.
that's right.
That was Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was EXPCon. We're gonna have
Yeah.
our picture taken again
Yeah,
together.
we went out to dinner there with the group. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's if you can go, if you can't go to this one, look ahead to EXP Con, which is October 11th through 14th, it looks like. And that will, I think they have it, must have it at Vegas every year.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll have to learn how to see. Normally I would go out there, I'd go to Valley of Fire and all kinds of cool stuff like that. Although I've eaten at the top of that, the Spire, what's the thing? The restaurant spins around on top of the needle.
Stratosphere?
Is that what it's called? I can't
Stratosphere?
remember.
Do they have a
Stratosphere, yeah.
restaurant there?
Yeah, is that what it's Stratosphere? That was pretty neat.
It's the other end of the strip,
Yes.
the sketchy
I
end.
remember- Yeah, yeah, that's right. I remember thinking, I drove out on my own. And I thought, boy, this doesn't look like the other part of Vegas. Looks, like
Sketchy
maybe
end.
Baltimore or something. Well, I shouldn't say that. If anybody's from Baltimore, please forgive me. I used to live in Baltimore. That's how I know that.
Yeah, anything you can do to get to the live events, it's a game changer. I mean, every time I go to them, you're learning more and more, but it's more than it's the relationships with the people that you get connected with. I've been able to really call on some big favors of some pretty big people to get help with things because we met them at the event, had a coffee, or just bumped into each other, had dinner or whatever. And it's been a big deal.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, Andre. I tell you what, probably some of the best things that ever happened to me in business came about because I went to those conferences, and sometimes it wasn't like the easiest thing to do either. But I remember always, whenever I go to one, I make a note to myself, when I start doubting if I'm going to the next one, remind myself of how glad I was I came to this one. Because you make contacts, you learn things, and I always walk away with 25, really good tips of things to do. And on the airplane back, I would sort it out, prioritize it, and then pick 12. And then by the time I meet with the team the next week, we would settle on 3 and go for 3 of those things. And when we only get 3 things done the next year, but we got the 3 most important things done. But just is equally important, guys. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to network and establish contacts from people of all walks of life, different parts of the country and the world, because some of the best opportunities come from that. I mean, it's just amazing. And it comes in waves. It's like you'll go a long spell with, it's like it's crickets out there. And all of a sudden, it seems like it comes in waves. And it's all because of the relationships you build. So amazing.
Hey, Gary, can you promote again, honey?
What's that?
Can you promote again?
Yes.
And I'd like to echo. Wow, I just got internet back. I'm kind of excited over here. I'd like to echo what Gary said. I'm always, before the event, I'm like, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And then when I was an agent, I always got extra business while I was gone. I think God was trying to bless me. And 2, I'm always so happy after I went because I get such cool stuff to build into my business and really change my business.
Yep. Yep. Hey, by the way, who has ever noticed before when you go away for like a week or 2, even if it's just regular, normal folks type vacation, all of a sudden you realize your business is actually doing pretty good during the week when you're away. See, I'm telling you, my logic is we should all be on
Every time.
vacation. Yeah, 52 weeks a year, and you'll have plenty of business. Just I think we work way too hard. So,
True. You want your business to blow up, plan a vacation. The week before you go, it will blow up in a good way. Blow up.
yes. Hey guys, I want to give a big welcome to Neil Caldwell. I think Neil's on tonight. Just literally, I think just signed up. That's not right today.
He
That's
did.
correct.
I saw
Few
that he
minutes
was
ago.
on. I'm not
There he
seeing.
is. Yep, from the great state of Texas, Houston,
Yep.
Texas. So,
Yeehaw.
welcome aboard, Neil. We've got some
Welcome,
good
Neil.
stuff coming up here.
Thank you.
And yep, you'll see a lot of residential transactions and some commercial ones too, and everything in between. Hey guys, hang on. This is Brody. Hey Brody. That's okay. Okay, give me 3 seconds. I'll send you the link right away. Until use the same email.
While he's doing that,
Okay.
tomorrow
You got it.
starts
I'll do it right now.
at 8:30 in the morning starts the Wealth Determiners Mastermind Group. So everybody's invited into that. What else? Oh, and this is kind of a sidebar, it has nothing to do with anything else, but Ava, my assistant, sent me her recipe for adobo. I made it. I didn't make it. My husband made it last night. It was amazing. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. That new guy, Neil, over there, he's a really good cook too.
Gina,
Yep.
hi.
Hi.
The wealth determiners, is that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday?
And Friday.
On Friday. Cool.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's way too early, by the way. I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to be at it. So tomorrow I have that at 5:30, and then I have the commercial thing from 7 to 3, like today was. It's like, this is it. I keep getting up and doing exercises and makes for long days. You
Yeah.
were laughing at that. I know you were laughing.
That's because I'm a morning person. And for me, it's this that's late. And I'm like, golly, I'm a pumpkin. I'm just a pumpkin at night.
Me too. I'm a morning person too. So you get a lot done when you get up early. Like productive.
Yep.
Quiet time when no one else is around.
Okay, I just sent Brody the links, so it should be just another minute or two here. Now, while we're waiting on Brody, if I could, I just want to do a quick poll here. Where's my screen? Raise your hand if you've played around with Idealestate so far. You know, turned it on, set up your profile, things like that. Okay, I did too, and let me go out there and let me do a share screen here. Let's just see where I stand right now. I did a little bit for the first week, and then I didn't do much after that. Things got pretty busy here. Idealestate dashboard. Let's just see where I am right now. I did notice a big giant jump towards the end of that first week. I went from like 3 contacts. Whoa, it's gone up even more. Okay.
Whoa. How the
Yeah.
heck did you do that?
I don't know. That's why I want to have this class. I wish I knew what it was I did, but I just followed the instructions. I'll tell you what I did. Right here, agent attraction playbook. Now, granted, I'm not in production, so my focus is as far as this tool goes, attracting agents. And this is not a brokerage specific program. It's open to everybody in any brokerage. Hang on, let me see if
Gary, can you
There we go.
send me that verbiage? Can you copy and paste that later and get that to me, or have Bev do that, please? Because I'm stealing if I'm not at 910, and I highly doubt I am. I'm
Oh, this
stealing.
one right
your-
here, this right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can actually go in, if you go into my profile, you'll see it.
Okay, perfect. I'll do it that way.
Yep.
And did you post any jobs, or is that all you posted?
No, I didn't post any jobs. All I did is I followed the instructions here, and that's the result so far. So.
Gary, I'm on.
Okay,
I
hey,
was
Brody.
able to get on.
Yep, let me.
Hey,
promote
sorry
you,
for the
Brody,
delay,
as a
everyone.
co-host.
Good to
I
see
had to
you.
figure out how to get on here.
Okay, so Brody, you're now a co-host, and what I was just telling everybody is Idealestate is a third-party platform that's open to any agent anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just for agent attraction, although you can certainly use it for that, but it's also to help you drum up sales and develop a network of relationships across the country. You can choose national or local. So Brody, I've only just barely scratched the surface and I'm already up to a referral network of 910. And everybody asked me, how'd you do it? And I said, I don't know.
We'll get you up to 50,000 within the week.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I share my screen? Sorry for the delay, everyone. I was trying to get on
Yeah.
here and I had a call that ran over.
Yeah,
So let me
I just
see.
need you co-host. So you should, there we go. Okay, good.
There we go. So let's kind of go through here, and thanks for having me, everyone. Great to meet everybody here. Brody Saunders, founder of Idealestate, and obviously Gary, thanks. Through here, you know, Idealestate's kind of become known in the industry as the LinkedIn of real estate. So we've got about 1.3 million agents on the site in the US and Canada. We're working on some international stuff that I think will be great for my good friends across the board. So kind of going through, here's Allison's profile, kind of going through this. She's grown her network to 136,000. The way she did that is by making connections. And so you can think about your network like your second degree connections on LinkedIn. And so that makes you show up to more folks. So you have this activity feed here, which means you're going to show up to more people more often. So the key to agent attraction and actually just the real estate business in general is relationship building. So making sure that you're always building relationships. That means people can see you, you can see them in a real estate related experience. So kind of going through here, really simple to use. So Allison, she has a great pitch here. Obviously one of the influencers. So, you know, not a pitch that's too long, too complicated, really, really easy here. So you kind of go through, you don't want it to be, you know, a full page, you know, ad because people won't read the whole thing. So you want something digestible and it should be about you. It should be about why they should join you, not just EXP. And, you know, we've seen some really great results with people. I'm going to turn my video on. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, so you can kind of go through here. You're able to select your ideal candidate. So what does this mean? What this is basically how we match you with people that you want to talk to. So if you want to connect with agents in a certain location that have certain credentials, certain focuses, we can help pair you with people in the right way. And so once you're connected, we basically give you all different ways to reach out. Handy with sharing referrals with, so it's not just singularly focused, it's really a one-stop shop for everything. So you kind of go through here, you're able to go see your candidates. We provide all kinds of training. And so we do a week of training. I'm sorry, what?
I think I've got a mute somebody. Hang on a second.
Yeah, no problem. So we provide all tools to help you. Oh, I think someone has still. Okay. So basically, we provide all these tools to help you, you know, connect and have, you know, the right interactions. If you go to the playbook, it kind of goes through a simple process that we perfected with some of the best folks. And so it starts with sending a connection request. Once you're connected, we automatically prompt people and nurture them on your behalf all the time. So if you get a new listing, if you have an update to your business, anything you do, we're keeping you in front of the people you want to connect with. From there, the goal of the connection request is set up a follow-up message. So you message through the site, and we always recommend, and we give you some introductory emails and things of that nature that you can send. And what these are designed to do is to prompt the initial call. So asking questions, the problem, just, you know, kind of willy-nilly. And maybe they're happy with their broker, they're happy with their splits, et cetera, et cetera. But what we want to do here is we want to make sure that you find one thing that you can find common ground on. And maybe it's they don't have stock options. Maybe they don't have healthcare. Maybe they don't have a retirement package. And so you want to find what's meaningful to them. And that's what this is all about, this process. And then we give you some ideas on how to actually close that deal. It may not be the first call, may not be the 5th call. And so we give you all the tools that you need to have the conversation, but also to keep someone that might be a good, so that maybe, you know, you have a good call, but they're not quite ready. 6 months from now, they are. So you're constantly building your pipeline. So there's a few things in agent attraction that are very important. So one, getting in front of agents all the time. We've done that. Or, you know, intrusive. We've done that. Having a great way to communicate going forward. We've done that. Obviously having the ability to, you know, continue to reach out and nurture them. It's all here. And it's really simple. It's 5 minutes a day. So you can do all this while you're brewing your coffee in the morning or whatever it is that you like to do. We have all these different tips, content, scripts, everything's here within your playbook. And we do weekly trainings, of course, with, you know, great agents, things like this. Excuse me. What you should say in your pitch, how you should pitch is. So you kind of go through Allison's whole profile. She's able to promote her services. So Allison and Don Hobbs, they do coaching, they do all kinds of stuff. And so she's able to add her services really easily here. And so she can go through, she can target a city, a state, nationwide, whatever she wants. She can choose a category, goes up into our, I'll show you this in a minute, but it goes up into our classified section. Whatever you want to do here, categories are basically limitless. But these are great ways to kind of see what people look at. And that gives you a conversation starter. And that's really all this is you need to have the ability to start a conversation. You can create property alerts. I'll get back to this in a minute. But one of the things we do that's different than LinkedIn or any other site out there is you're able to see what people are interested in doing. So if they're interested in joining a new team, we'll let you know that. So this will be any broker. I'll get into how you can go search for people in just a second. But you can see if people are interested in joining a new team. No one else does that out there. You can see people that are looking to grow their team that are not with your brokerage. This is even more valuable. So we have 7,000 non-EXP brokerages out there that are looking to grow that are basically landlocked. And we have insight into who's looking to go where and what they're trying to do. So you're going to get all of this insight at a glance. And obviously you don't want to lead with the fact you know that. No one wants to be reminded of it. But it's incredibly valuable. And I'll show all this in just a second. But kind of going down here, you have the ability to post job postings. So you can post a job for an admin, things of that nature. Again, it's another way to attract leads. If you have your listings on here, we'll show you everyone that looks at it. You can create collections of homes. Again, great way to attract different folks with 136,000 people, which I just did. And so those people will be notified, prompts them to look at Allison, and she can kind of go from there. I go to my candidates, which is basically the candidates that she has. And you can kind of go through this. And so we created all these different tags, for lack of a better term. Sorry, my internet is saying my internet is
Brody,
unstable.
If you could see if you have any applications you can close down.
Kind of going through, you can go through. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you can go through. You can see you have everyone's phone number, email. You can check their stats on the fly, so you can see how many listings they've had. Susan, you're on here. Hey, Sue. Great to see all the listings, everything else. You have, you know, the information you need. We provide all these different. Yeah.
Hey, Brody, I was just saying, if you have
I'm sorry,
other
what?
applications you can shut down on your computer, your internet
Can you
connection.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just very Uh,
Oh, did I lose you? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's just very sporadic.
Gary?
Your internet connection is, you may need to shut down some
I
back
can hear
applications.
you. I think. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you, but let me type this in the chat box. Hang on one second.
Yeah, let me turn off my video.
Okay.
Let's see if it pops. Okay. So sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. We've got like a big windstorm, so it's stormy. It's stormy here. So kind of going through, if you guys can hear me. Is that you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, so you have the ability to kind of reach out. You can request a phone call. You kind of go through here and we give you all different kinds of, ask them for their phone number. Even though you have it, it's inviting the phone call. You have their phone number, email, everything you need to know about them. So really easy. You can export a button. So that comes in really handy. So you can put those folks into any system that you want to. Like wave your hands if you can hear me. Very spotty. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So you can go through and actually search for folks. And so you can go through and literally go through Connect. You can search by, category, where they're located, the types of homes they sell, how often they sell them. You can check their stats again on the fly, just right here. You can see 2 listings in the last 12 months, price range. So it gives you a sense of whether or not they're going to cap. What I would recommend is going in, doing a few connections every day. It's really easy to use. And then you can click the recruit button. This is where you save someone to your list. And once you do that, no one else can do that for 6 weeks. So it takes everyone off the menu for anyone else. And obviously we favor our folks at EXP heavily, which is really useful. But you go through, send 10 messages a day, 10 connection requests a day, and we'll show you who responds. And then you can kind of go through and choose. And, the whole idea is to get them on a phone call where they can obviously, explain a little bit more about their lives and what they do. And you can kind of see some of the stuff here, just the types of activity that you get. Really easy to use once again. So you go through here, send a connection request, a message, follow the playbook, and it ends up working out really well from that standpoint. And so in 5 minutes a day, you're able to go through, make connections with agents. And, obviously we provide access to the first truly agent-friendly nationwide MLS. So you can kind of go through, share homes, you can create property alerts, you can, and Susan knows this, she's been with us forever. You can kind of go through, create a property alert, you can create a collection, share it with your clients. We never share your client information with anyone. And so that's another huge benefit. So it's not just going to help with attraction. It's really the whole 9 yards in terms of helping you build your business and doing it in the right way, which is relationship building. That's something we're very passionate about. We're very passionate about, helping our agents care about our folks a lot. So you can go through, search for homes. And one thing you won't see on any listing is your competitors advertising on your listings. So you kind of go through here. Here's an example. No one over here. So very different from Zillow, very different from everything else out there. So again, really easy to use. We have a classified section. That's where your services would show up. And so once you get set up, it takes about 5 minutes, more or less, to set it and forget it. And so we have an onboarding guide, video tutorials. And again, everyone's always welcome at our weekly meeting on Fridays. So any questions from the group? I mean, that's kind of the full live demo, but happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Well, like for me, I'm using this for agent attraction. Obviously, I'm not personally in production, although just about everybody else on the team obviously is in production. So when it comes to the production side of things, like let's say somebody doesn't have listings because they're new.
Yeah.
What can they do to help start to get it traction, connect with other people, or perhaps get some referrals, do open houses, things like that to get traction,
Absolutely. So day one, I'd create a property alert, and that allows you to kind of put in, different properties. So if you're working as a buyer's agent, this is really handy. So a lot of agents in Florida use us to connect with agents in Boston, New York, Chicago that might have agents coming down or might have clients coming down to Florida. And so creating your referral network is kind of day one, and that's a big part of it. We'll show you all of the clients or consumers that look at your stuff, and you have the ability to reach out to them through the site or request a phone call, which is something really lightweight where you can go through, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So you can actually request a phone call rather than feeling like you have to pick up the phone and dial. And that can be kind of intimidating for a lot of folks. Allison doesn't have any listings at this point, but you can kind of go through and I'll show you how this works, but you can actually request a phone call by clicking here. So if I click this, this will actually prompt the person. This could be an agent, could be a consumer, and you'll know just looking here. So if she had listings, she'd see consumers looking as well. But she can request a phone call from anyone, make connections. So day one, that's what you want to do is do that. And you can see here's someone who meets her criteria, and you have all the information. So you have the ability easily 11 listings, for an agent here, but it will show you everything you need to understand. And then we make sharing really easy. So if you're going to connect with a client and share your listings or share whatever you want to do, say you have a client moving somewhere else. So, they're a great client, they're in your area, but they're moving to Austin, Texas, for example. You can create a collection of homes that meets their needs and share it with them, collaborate with them. And then you're the one that calls the agent and you say, hey, I've got a client coming to your area. Love to have, you be my go-to person in your area. Let's connect, and here's some homes that are interested in. And then you get that referral. So referrals go both ways. And I think that's something really important that a lot of people kind of skip over or forget, especially when they're working with people coming and going out of state. This is something that you can use, to build your business in many, many, many different ways. And so you can go through, look at folks in different areas. Oh my gosh, this person looks great. I'll connect with them. I have a client going to the area, and you could do this on other sites. There's no question about it. We just make it easier for you to make that connection. And then once you're connected, every time you get a listing, they're going to know. Every time they get a listing, you're going to know. And so it's just a really, really great way to kind of continue to build that business. And see this right here. It's like you can go through and just, even look at other people's stuff. I mean, this is just her network, and you get a sense for it.
Okay. Now, what if you wouldn't mind? There's different levels of Idealestate. Would you mind kind of showcasing like what's the difference between your basic and then I think there's like Premier and then Elite. I can't remember the different levels, but what the difference is with each level.
Sure, Gary. So the basic account is free, and that allows you to collaborate with clients. You can share, you can see a lot of this data. The preferred account is for people wanting to share referrals, and it's $39.99 a month. And obviously, we can set everyone up with a coupon here if anyone wants that account. And that's really about people that want to get more aggressive with sharing referrals, more messaging, very similar to LinkedIn. And then on top of that, you have the agent attraction model, which is more expensive. There's no question, but obviously given, kind of the return you should expect should be, very, very lucrative. But that one gives you all of the features plus recruiting. And so basically that's, it starts at $159 a month, but it's, no contracts. You can turn it on or off as you would like to. And it gives you all of the features plus recruiting. So it kind of depends on what your goals are. And as anyone on here knows me knows, we're pretty hands-on with support. Great to see you, Sue. But going from that standpoint, that's really what you're getting. And then obviously the coaching, we do a weekly training. We usually have some of the top influencers at EXP on our Friday trainings. So, like Randy Bird, I've talked to Elizabeth Riley, a few other folks about doing a little bit more, which would be great. I'd love to get her to be on a regular basis. But yeah, a lot of good folks, Shannon Pyatt. So that's kind of the difference. And to be honest, we don't have really a hardline sales process. You can probably do a lot of the stuff you need to do with the free account, in all honesty. But with the recruiting stuff, it's just more expensive because, those are valuable leads. And so we want to make sure that you're well trained and you do it the right way and reach out to people and you get a good response. And there's a lot of people that, start on the program, they reach out to me personally, and I do one-on-ones all the time. So more than happy to help, but our Friday meetings are really, really a great resource for the group and for, our folks at EXP.
So the one that's $159 a month, I guess it's like a separate piece of software that's driving that for recruiting. Like what actually does that get you? What's the
so that gets,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So that gets you the ability to put in your pitch. So we track everyone that looks at this, we track everyone that looks at your pitch. If you're on the sort of consumer side or rather the candidate side, we show you what, so people have this option to say they're interested in joining your team. So that's like a BAM thing where, it basically shares all their stats with you. And it's like, give me a call right now. I'm ready to join your team. So this is what a candidate would see from their perspective. It allows you to put in your pitch, you put in your ideal candidate. We help match you with people. It gives you the filters. It gives you everything else. So that's the attraction feature. So this is on when you're, going to bed at night, working all the time for you so that you don't have to constantly be sourcing. We're doing it for you. It gives you the ability to also source yourself, as I mentioned before, excuse me, which is going through here. It gives you the ability to search location, states, how many connections, how many listings. It gives you the ability to see their stats. And then more importantly, it gives you the ability to click this recruit button, which means no one else can do this for 6 weeks. So you have 6 weeks alone with the person. So that's what you're paying for. So, I think Broker Generator is about $1,000 a month. Posting one job posting on LinkedIn, which I know is kind of forbidden with EXP, but posting just one job is, $400 a month. So it comes in, fairly affordable. And I guess the most important thing there is, we're doing a lot with EXP. So you can see some of the folks here, kind of going through this, really good folks. But the reality is we want something where we really, really dive in and help you do agent attraction the right way. It's quality, it's not quantity, it's coaching, and it's something that, I'm pretty passionate about. I love all my folks at EXP. Gary, as you know, too, as you know.
Now we have on these Monday night live classes, we do have agents on from other brokerages. So, they can use this too, right? Like whether they're rematch.
Oh, most of our agents are, of our 1.3 million, we have 33,000, that are EXP and the rest are not. Okay. So in terms of sharing referrals, and that's a huge part. I've never seen anyone who had a email signature that said, "I'm never too busy for your leads." It's always, I'm never too busy for your referrals in their email signature. And so just going on here, when you have your listings on here, we're going to help connect you. And there's a very similar concept for referrals. So even if you have the free account, So what you'll see is ideal referral partner instead of ideal candidate. And it'll allow you to put in similar information, and then we'll connect you. So if you're in Florida and you want to connect with agents in, Boston, New York, Chicago, you can select that, and we will literally funnel those folks to you.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
that's part of the free version, actually.
Okay. And there's a third version, is that right? Is that what Allison is, the elite? Is that the third version?
So the
Of what-
elite part is something that you have to have a very good conversation with me to do that.
Okay,
So it's not something you can pay for. It's something that you're chosen for.
gotcha.
And something that, I like to talk to the folks and make sure that, they're doing stuff the right way and whatnot. And then we kind of go from that standpoint.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And then,
Now, is it-
oh, sorry, I'm going to put my information as well into the channel.
Yeah. No, what if we took a vote and everybody voted to say, like, yeah, Gary should be elite. Would that count?
Well, Gary, you can be elite if you want to.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'd love to, but I want to learn more, because I do want to do a good job at this and lead by example. We've got about 100 people on the team. There's 30 of them on the night.
Yeah.
And so I want to lead by example and obviously show results, because I can see the value in this. It really is all about the relationship. It just never, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
It's the whole industry. And, I used to use this example and I realized I was wrong, especially when it comes to agent attraction. But, it's like dating, except when you're doing agent attraction, you're actually asking someone married more often than not to get divorced and marry you on the spot. And that's why it's difficult and intimidating. And so it's something that we want to lower the barrier to make it more accessible. And when you talk about that too, it comes down to retention and retention of a client, not just, when it comes to recruiting or agent attraction. When you're trying to keep a client that's going to be a repeat customer or refer you to someone else, you got to stay in front of them. And this gives you the ability to stay in front of them in a way that's not, just here's my, weekly, sort of email that I send to you. But hey, check out these listings. Isn't this cool? There's an intimate relationship that's built between an agent and a client of trust. And that translates into getting referrals and things like that going forward. So if you do a good job, then this is going to really help you stay connected so that they can just feel comfortable saying, hey, I have a friend looking for a home, thought you'd be a great person. And this could be someone all over the country. That's the difference. So it's not just in your local market, what you're doing right now. It could be someone anywhere, and it could be another agent. And the reason the MLS was created was to help agents help other agents sell homes. And we're just trying to do that on a nationwide scale and, trying to help people, grow their business and feel comfortable doing it. So it's something that I'm excited about. And, you've been great. And, I've met a lot of great people along the way. My personal phone number is in the channel. So if anyone needs anything, you can call me personally.
Cool beans. Hey,
Yeah.
Brody, I have
Anna?
a question for you. Yeah. If you go and select candidates, because you get all excited about that feature and don't realize you only get 6, can you unselect the candidate, or is that it? Those are my 6 for the month.
So those basically that takes the person off the market
I
and
know.
is download them. So we do that just because we don't want people to overdo it, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
if
apparently
someone
that
can
would
go
be
through
me.
and overdo it. But you have unlimited messaging, unlimited connections. You have their phone number, you have their email. So you want to choose the people that you're going to click the recruit button on the people that are more long-term prospects, actually, because if you kind of go to the playbook, we talk about when to do that, which is right here. When should I download a candidate? I can reset yours. I can reset yours.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's a good lesson for me to learn. And I've
It's
got
fine.
phone numbers and
I'm
everything.
happy. I'm happy to reset it. If that wasn't clear, but we talked about when to do it. So you don't want to do that if the person's ready to talk today. So if someone's ready to talk today, then talk to them. This is more, hey, I'm interested, but I'm not ready. That's when you should download them and take them off the market, because otherwise you're going to be nurturing someone that might be ready to go now.
Right.
So and I'll get you reset. That's totally fine. Total misunderstanding. It happens sometimes, and you're not alone on that. So we probably should come up with some language on that. But at the end of the day, you want to nurture the people that need to be nurtured, and not just everyone. Because if you kind of go through here, let's say you do a connection request, follow-up message, they're like, hey, I'm totally ready. Would like to chat today. You don't want to save them because they're ready to go.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. So I finally went into mine because I was waiting, well, stupidly, because I didn't read the playbook and all that. So I went through today and sent a bunch of messages back. No response yet. Do you just chill out? Would your recommendation, again, this is probably in the playbook and I probably should read it closer because I just sort of did a cursory glance over it. Is your recommendation just to sort of chill out for a little bit, talk to them again, or try again in the week? Or like, what's best practices?
So this comes up all the time. It is in the playbook, but let me specify it in particular. So a lot of times I talk to agents and they're like, well, I sent a message and the person didn't respond right away. And I'll say, okay, well, if you got a message on LinkedIn or something like that and you don't respond right away, you don't smash your computer or your phone, you follow up. So if I call someone and they don't answer and I want to talk to them, you call them again. So that's something, that comes down to follow up. So a lot of people think you send one message, you're going to get one response, and it should always be positive. Sometimes you'll get a bad response. Maybe they're not looking to leave. So there's an art to it, but there's also a science. And so I would recommend thinking about, and we talk about it here, but you're probably going to need 2 or 3 touches to get a good response. And it's just going through and just following up with someone. So if you send out 10 messages and you get 0 responses, send up a follow-up message. And, we're looking to get 1 out of 10 to have a good interaction where it leads to a great phone call. And then you're able to be in a position where you can talk about your business. And again, asking them mostly about their business. I mean, that's really the way to do it, is ask them, hey, how's your business? Can I get your phone number? That's another thing with the messaging. You want to make sure you always ask for their number, never just leave yours, because that's inviting someone to give you a cold call. No one likes doing that. And so if you can literally just say, hey, trying to build my nationwide referral network. I want to have a go-to person every state, eventually every city. Would love to learn more about your business, saw your profile. What's the best number to reach you? I'd love to set up a short phone call to learn more about your business and see if we can't help one another grow our own business. And, if you're looking at this from a nationwide standpoint, then what's really valuable here is you're not competing with the realtor next door. And honestly, the only reason realtors feel that way is because of the Zillows of the world. And so, if you didn't have that, you go to an open house, you do a deal, who's on the other side? Another realtor. They should be your friend. They should be, someone that, you're working with, not a competitor. And so viewing every realtor next door as a competitor, I think, is a mistake. In fact, it should be your colleague that you're helping each other get a deal done as best as you can so that you both prosper. And so that helps a lot when you're looking at different locations, but even next door, that makes sense. And that's honestly why I created the company. I was buying home and selling a home at the same time. There were 2 kind of, gripes that I heard with everyone in the industry, with Zillow and everything else. And so I was like, why can't I create something that, is actually agent friendly, that promotes the value of an agent, because agents work really hard. People think they just get a commission and walk away, but you're working at night. You're working on weekends. You're working weird hours. You're, at someone's house, getting photos at nighttime with a photographer to make sure it comes out okay. And if it doesn't go well, then you get nothing.
True.
The commission is probably the most, genuine form of compensation in the world. But, people are like, why did I spend, 20 grand? It was only X, Y, Z. And it's, well, yeah, they took a risk as well. And you were represented, you're not going to do it better than an agent, So I wanted to create something that really recognized the value of an agent.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Brody.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
We did this kind of like funny cartoon video when we started about what we're doing, and it's as true today as it's ever been. So it's on the site, but it's the same thing. It's just, hey, here's the whole deal. We want to create something that recognizes agents. And the other part too is one of the value props for an agent. I want to point this out, Gary, if I can.
Yep.
Is who do you work with? So, because you have a great agent, you're going to get a great lender, appraiser, inspector, the network the agent brings to the table. And so we have this section called partners. And so this allows you to showcase that you work with all different kinds of professional partners. And so it's really neat. So your preferred lender, appraiser, inspector, moving company, whatever it is. And so this allows them to be featured on your profile. Then you're featured on theirs when they sign up. Really, really kind of fun. So you can kind of go through and look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a reason why someone wants to work with you versus another agent, is you're going to bring all these other professionals to the table that make buying, selling, owning a home a better experience.
Yep. Well, we definitely have a lot of connections with the way we do our business and the team. We're in like 26 different states. And we work with owner occupants and investors. So there's a lot of lenders, attorneys, insurance people that we can leverage, all across the team. So, hey,
Yeah,
by the way,
they can actually post their services. So we have a classified section. So this helps them sell their services. Posting is 100% free.
okay.
So you can see just, kind of just in general, like what you get out of it. It's kind of neat. But you can see what people are doing.
Okay.
Hey, Brody, I just did what you said and got a connection. Thank you. Got
Yeah.
someone to email me back.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. It seems intimidating, but it works if you work it. And it's literally put your coffee on or your tea or whatever you do in the morning. Send 10 messages, send 10 connection requests in the morning, and then follow up in the afternoon when you're getting ready for bed. It's incredibly simple, and you only need one person to make this worthwhile. One good connection that leads to business to pay for the entire year of this product.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we're passionate about. And we're very aware that agents get hit up by everybody all the time. And we want to have something that's valuable to our folks.
Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, can you go into the Friday training a little bit? Like what time is it? Where the link for training, is it on the site here, or?
I'll send it to you, Gary. I don't have it handy, but yeah,
I think the training's at noon. I know I was at it.
Training is at 1:00 Eastern time.
Okay.
We have two. So we have the noon training and we have a 1:00 training. So we have a noon training you can distribute as needed. But it's a good training. Great panel that's on.
You gotta translate that.
Yeah.
Folks. The 1 o'clock one we have. Did I lose you guys for a sec?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got 12 in one, but how do we get to it? Do we go to the website?
I'll send you a link, Gary, and you can send it
Okay.
out to everybody.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you got abducted by aliens there for about a minute. So,
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, we have this like big windstorm going on. So
okay,
what can you do?
All right. Okay. Now through here, let's say an agent is in Nashville and he or she's networking with other agents primarily in a marketplace because they're obviously in production. I mean, they can easily just in their message type in, hey, you got any open houses coming up? I'd like to sit open house. I mean, is that a appropriate use of this also?
100%. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No, again, you kind of go through the activity feed. You can look at their stuff. You can see when someone posts an open house as well.
Mhm.
You can,
Okay.
it's just a great way to reach out, and you can say, hey, so these are new listings. Just got a new listing 42 minutes ago.
Mhm.
Congratulations on the new listing. Would love to chat with you. And you can set this however you want. So when you go to see activity, you can say, I want to see stuff just in my local area, in these areas, nationwide, whatever the case may be.
Okay. Now let's say when we talk about like the national MLS, is that so really what the system's doing is it's does the agent have to put their listings on here, or does this go out and find the listings on the internet or on the MLS?
We're partnered with all the MLSs, so this data comes directly from the MLS. So we're not, you can technically post. So if you go to, you can manage properties, so you can post your own if you want.
Mhm.
But we only allow agents to post properties. There's no for sale by owners on here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we do that because that is agent friendly.
Yeah, we do have some, because we work with investors, we do have some deals that are it's through agency, but they're not on the MLS, technically off market.
Yeah, so you can actually post your own. So you just go to manage properties,
Okay.
and then you do add a rental listing, whatever you want, and then it's a relatively friendly apparatus to do it. Really simple to use. Drag and drop your files, whatnot. So really, really easy. And then we'll promote that for you, and this is all free. So whatever you need to do here, it's pretty easy. And then you can set to active, inactive. We'll prompt you after 30 days of posting to say, is this still active?
Okay.
So
And then
that part, what?
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say now so you got the free version, the $40 version, and the 159 version. The 159 version, that really adds more muscle behind the agent attraction. And
Yeah.
is that combined? Is a 159 include what's in the 40, or is it two different things?
It includes, so you have preferred, and then it's preferred plus recruiting. So you get all of the features that you would have normally plus recruiting. And so when you go there, that's kind of like how it shakes out.
Okay.
And so, but the 39 version, you can do all the referrals. You can get, honestly, you can do agent attraction with that. It's just you don't get the same kind of matches and stuff, but you still have the ability. And the reason we got into agent attraction is we had some agents using it for agent attraction, and they said, gosh, could you create, a feature for this? And I was like, yeah, we really can. There's not a problem there. And, and I think, particularly with EXP, I know not everyone's EXP on here. They wanted to understand it really well. And we had partnered with KV Core at the time and kind of went through it. And this is the way that, I think EXP wants to do agent attraction, and really how it should be done. Again, it's not attraction, it's relationship building. That's all it is. And so you can't do that and have a good conversation. We want people to reach out with confidence, to feel like they can, reach out and have a good conversation. and not feel like they're at a bar hitting on people all the time, which is how agent attraction can come across. That's where the follow-up comes in really handy. I think Kendra, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Hi, thank you, Brody.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
you mentioned KV Core, and I noticed that on the KV Core platform, if you go into the marketplace, the pricing is actually different. So can you
It
explain?
is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can explain that. So the KV Core integration is a little bit more expensive than what we do on our end. And it's just because they have stuff set up on their end. So that's their pricing versus, so you can download our stuff into any CRM you want. We're integrated with them. And so you can send people to KV Core and they go into the same drip campaign. It just depends on what your preference is. And I could easily walk through the difference with you.
Okay.
But the reason the pricing is a little bit different is just because it is fully integrated with KV Core. So you just click a button to send someone there. So that's how that works.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem at all. And again, anyone on here, please feel free to call me. More than happy to chat with anyone offline. If you want to do a one-on-one, more than happy to help there. I mean, we try to pride ourselves on customer support as much as we can. So
Brody's serious about that. He's offering to help me set up a Zapier to connect my CRM with it.
yep. And I think it'll be pretty easy too, Gina, by the way.
Cool beans.
Yeah. So we had our Monday morning meeting and talked about all that stuff as well. So I think that would be pretty simple.
Awesome. My assistant and I will be in touch. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem at all. So any other thoughts from the group? More than happy to answer any questions. Gary, thank you for having me. Sorry for being late. I had 2 calls that ran over.
Brody, I do have another question. Down below where you can post boards,
Yeah.
do your boards have to be houses, or could I hack that and post like scripts up there and stuff like that?
So you'd want to do that under services. So you could put, links to your services and everything else here.
Okay.
So I would spend time doing it here.
All right.
And so that's easier. So the boards, we kind of stole this from Pinterest.
Mhm.
It's like creating a Pinterest board, et cetera, et cetera. So you kind of go through here. What I would do is focus on the service part of it. And, you can still create these. And again, we created the quick share for a reason. It's super fun to use. And it's a great way to just kind of put out your stuff. It doesn't go out in your activity feed, but it goes out into everyone else's that you're connected with. And it's a phenomenal way to say, hey, look, here are my own listings. You don't want to do it all the time because you don't want people to get annoyed with you. But it's a great way to share and collaborate with clients, with people. You can do it just click of a button. You can obviously email it, easy to use. And then they get a curated collection of homes. You can do it through the site. Just boom, 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 boom. You can do it one at a time. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want. And so it's a great way to share your listing to get more sort of, positive feedback as well. So we track everyone that looks at it, so you can actually follow up and say, oh, this person looked at this. This is great, phenomenal. I'm going to say, hey, thanks for looking at my stuff. Let's have a conversation. If that makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So the basic steps are whether you're using this to get more production or build relationships for agent attraction. The first, and I'm trying to remember the terminology used, but I think I followed the instructions when I first did. I don't know if I did or not, but I did like make a connection. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. And then I think I shared my profile. I think that was one of them. Okay. And then the third one would be if you like could send some type of message, but you don't do that until you've at least made some type of connection. Is that correct?
You can send the message. It's better when they accept the connection. Then it's like, hey, thanks for accepting my connection.
Okay.
Would love to follow up with you. Always, again, this is rule number 1. Always ask for their information, never just lend your own, because it just invites them to make a cold call. People don't like doing it, especially as it relates to agent interaction. And then, the biggest thing with EXP is don't lead with EXP. Lead with what they are interested in. Lead with asking questions, because you want to make sure that you're hitting the right touch points that matter to the person. And, the goal of recruiting is not recruiting at all. It's finding someone that's going to work with you. It's a very different relationship than selling a home. So selling a home, someone's interested in the home, and you have to be a good enough agent to be able to get them what they need. You don't have to be perfect. Agent attraction is different. You need to find someone that's really, really good that will work with you and have a good experience, because it's not transactional, it's relationship. And so you want someone that's going to be on there for a long time and going to do a great job. Does that make sense? Looks
It
like
does.
we have a hand raiser here.
Okay.
And any questions? I think someone just raised.
I did raise my hand, and it was actually kind of off of what Gina had mentioned about Zapier. So it's just, it's a little bit off topic. I was curious, are you able to share a few things that you do automate with Zapier? That's just kind of the part that.
So we're creating a link basically an integration that will allow you, we already have kind of a basis for this.
Okay.
But it will allow everyone to be able to plug in into any CRM that they would like to, or any other system. So right now you can download your candidates with a click of a button, upload them however you want. And we're going to do a training on this in the coming weeks. But basically you'll be able to download folks and create your own integrations and put them wherever you want to go with them. And we're going to do that with the same, limits on numbers. And the reason we do that is just so people don't get spammed and we don't have overlap.
Gotcha.
That's very, very important to us, that we don't, alienate people. But this will be pretty slick, actually. So G and I have talked about it. It's been on our list for a while, and it's not a heavy lift for us. We're just working on a couple other things, and then should be able to polish that off pretty easily. And then, what CRM do you use now?
Well, I use like Mojo, and I use Command because I'm a Keller Williams. So yeah, multiple.
Okay. So you'll be able to do it with any system that you want. So we're going to create just sort of a loop that people can plug into really easily.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Okay.
So any other thoughts from the group? Happy to answer any questions. Please do feel free to call me. My wife's traveling for work, so I'm basically just alone doing nothing. So if you guys need anything, call me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we really do appreciate this. I think we just need to use it and exercise it and see how it works. And I might do the same thing as set up a call just to show you what I'm doing, because it's kind of unique that we have a national team.
Yeah.
In all these different locations, and we do have a lot of connections. And every week I teach this class, and then I do podcast every week. So every week's a different guest on the podcast every single week. And then during the month, probably 1/4 of our classes around the year are guests. I mean, like you, guests coming on. So we could take advantage of that. And, those things that anybody on the team can leverage, because they all have the same connections that I do because of that. So I think we probably could really make a good go of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, Gary, it's important that it just works for everyone. We're not a company where it's like, hey, thanks for your money, good luck. I want to help everyone grow their business. And, that's the long-term approach. And I'm here to honestly help with anything that anyone needs here. I do care about it very much, and I'm more than happy to help anyone here. I see some good friends that I've known for a long time on here.
Okay.
So it's great to see you. So.
Okay. Well, for everybody, if you could hang on a few more minutes, I just got a few things to go over with you. Everybody, whether you're on a team or not, because it does affect everybody. It has to do with the platform and videos and stuff like that. But I think, Brody, I speak for a lot of people when we say big thank you for doing this. It definitely helped bring some clarity for me, and I hope others also,
I apologize for being late.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get on too many calls and it goes long.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
okay.
are working on some cool stuff for our friends, and Gary, something I'm happy to share with you one-on-one, but it's there's some really cool stuff we're doing.
Okay.
So excited about that. So great to see everyone here. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be with everyone here, and anything I can do, just give me a call, text me. I'll be around this week. So, just let me know.
Well, thank
And
you.
happy to chat. So thanks for having me, Gary, and apologize again for being 10 minutes late.
That's okay. I will tell you, I've been doing this for these weekly classes for 7 years, and the gang will tell you, I've only been late 1,713 times.
Yeah, no, the reason I was late, so Senator Hatch passed away, Orrin Hatch.
Oh,
And
no.
so, yeah, he passed
know that.
away. So I was talking to his son.
Oh, boy.
That's why I was late. So I was
Yeah.
having a conversation with Senator Hatch's son. He's a dear friend of mine. So
Wow. Boy, I had no idea.
yeah,
Okay.
longest serving senator in U.S. history, actually.
Amazing. Yep.
So.
Oh, I know. Lots of history there. I mean, ever since I was a kid. So,
yep, no question.
Wow. So. Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Please pass our condolences on to his son there. So, yeah.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank all of you. Please call me. Happy to work with all of you, and anything you need, I'm always here. So I'll talk to you soon. And Sue, I hope you're doing great. I know you're on here. So love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brody.
Thank you guys. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey guys, an update on the videos. The training videos looks like they're all being recovered. There was, I think a couple of training programs were intact. Then they weren't harmed by the what happened with YouTube. There were other training programs that were missing videos. You still had all the written content that wasn't affected. It was just anything that was video stored on our YouTube channels. So those are thankfully are able to be recovered. Like now, they're working on that now quickly. The ones that I'm concerned about are all these Monday Night Live classes I've been doing since 2015. I mean, we literally lost, about over 290 videos. So we're working on that recovery now. And what happened is those older videos were all recorded and stored on an older channel. And there was the short version is that old account was shut down. I had no idea. We're just completely blindsided by it. And it wasn't my account. It was something we used from years past with a different affiliation. So in any case, it looks like we're able to recover that. We just found out today that may take a while. So the good news is probably within a couple of days. If you're on any other training programs other than Investor Agent and you couldn't find videos, that's why. And the good news is those are the most important, and they're being recovered as we speak. The bigger picture was, again, the weekly classes like these, that might take a while. It looks like we're going to be able to restore the account, but they all have to be uploaded and stored on another channel. So in any case, it's amazing what the technology can be your best friend, your worst enemy sometimes. So in any case, there's other procedures we're putting in place. They had backup procedures in place, but in this certain things, it didn't work because they were on the same server. So in any case, that's how that whole thing played out there. Any questions, guys, on any transactions, anything about Idealestate? I apologize for the Brody's internet connection. It was pretty rough there at the beginning, at the end. But did everybody feel like you got your questions asked? You got a better idea of how that system works? Okay. You guys are awfully quiet. Is this going to be a record we're going to be able to finish?
Hey, Gare, Craig wants to be promoted.
Oh, okay. Hang on one second. Okay, Craig and Jackie, Targan, and
Oh
Kevin,
my goodness.
you'll be able to, well, I did promote them earlier, but for some reason, sometimes people, I'll promote them over and over again and it just, they don't come live on their video. So Craig, you should be able to do that. Oh, there you are. How you doing, Craig?
Hello.
Hey, who's
Hey,
had
did
to
we get
deal
the
with
paper?
the storms? I'm sorry, who's had to deal with the storms today? And then you can ask Craig.
Do what now?
There's been some really bad storms. Anyone? I know Neil had to deal with them.
Oh.
Anyone else? Nope,
It's,
that's
well,
it.
it was
Right.
blue skies and sunshine up here. It was a perfect day. I actually worked out on the deck, you know?
It was gorgeous here too.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Craig.
Hey, Craig, do we have paperwork?
Hey, hopefully tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I talked to one of the LLC members today,
Mhm.
and he doesn't want to sign. He wants the other. He wants one of the other members to sign the paperwork. So with that being said, I only need one of the members of the LLC to sign the paperwork. Correct?
It depends on the articles of incorporation and the operating agreement. So, and by the way, you're going to want to get that from them.
Yeah.
Because when it comes time for due diligence and closing, see, someone might decide to buy the entity, to buy the LLC, and
Okay.
not buy the property. So they'll buy the LLC, which will of course include the property, and it'll prevent property tax assessment from being raised, and also allow for title insurance to be conveyed. Save some money.
Gotcha. So yeah, because the LLC is actually the name of the gas station.
Yeah,
Convenience store.
in a lot of cases, that's the better move, unless the LLC has other things attached to it, then it wouldn't work. But in that case, and also when it goes to closing, whoever pulls the title work, and if there's a lender involved, they're all going to want to see. So might as well grab that. But in there, it'll tell you who the authorized signers are. And usually in the smaller LLCs, they want everybody to sign. If it's a bigger one, there's like a general partner and a bunch of silent partners. I don't think that's the case here,
Yeah. And the one is three of them, and the one he said that she's the one that's got all the articles and everything, the paperwork that I need. So I'm waiting to speak with her.
Okay.
Also, I got another lead on a commercial property to that I have a buyer for.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm gonna need some help.
Okay.
So I called the person that's got it listed. It's in LoopNet, but he hasn't returned my call yet. So I had to set up an account to send the email. So I sent the email out, but I still haven't heard anything.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, keep me posted on that.
Okay.
And that's the last one. That's the listing and the buyer, or just the buyer side?
Just the buyer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a restaurant, small restaurant, little pizza place.
Okay.
And I need your link again for appointments.
Okay. Let me grab that real quick and I'll put it in that chat box for everybody. While I'm grabbing this, we had Demi on last week, Demi Stevens. So I believe I've got all the names of everybody who wants to be part of our book development group. We'll call it the book group, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'll send an email out to everyone, and we'll have we call it, you can call it a mastermind if you want. Oops, wrong file. We'll get together, we'll lay out the agenda for the next 3 months. My goal is to create the first draft. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this weekend, or if I have time. I got to finish up some CE, but I'll definitely have it by the end of May. And that way you guys will have June and July to do your chapter. It really won't take you all that long. And I think once you see the first draft of what I'm putting out there, you'll see how your chapter will fit in, So hang on to your seats for that. I'll get that to you. I'll set up the meeting, and I'm kind of glad Demi's not really going to be available for a couple months, because it gives us more time to prepare and do our work. So what I would suggest is, anybody who wants to be part of developing that book, start thinking about what you want to, if you were just imagine if you were to teach an hour class, what would you want to teach? And always remember, tie it to a real life story. Okay. Oh, thanks, Gina. Gina already posted in there.
Welcome.
It took me a few minutes to get my to the right folder and the right file. So let's see who that's Andre. Yeah, Andre, I'll put you in there too. So keep your eyes out for that, guys. I definitely encourage you to participate. If you know what my thought was, we could perhaps even do one like every couple of years. We could probably do it every year, but people might get tired of it. We do it every couple of years, just like any other book you publish revisions. We'll have more stories to publish. Okay, so this first one could be primarily focused on residential transactions, which is how I got started. 1 unit to 4 units and flips and regular buyers and all that. Wasn't until later I got involved with bigger deals in commercial. So maybe a follow-up book could be one that's more on the bigger investment deals. So there's lots of opportunities to leverage this book that we're talking about. And again, long term, it's really position you for being able to write your own book if that's what you choose to do, or repurpose this one with your own picture on it, like you wrote the whole thing. So in any case, so keep your eyes peeled for that. The strategy call link Gina posted in there, I just put in there too. If you haven't set up a call, go ahead and schedule one. If you could just schedule one at a time. I mean, sometimes it's going to do two back to back if a subject requires a full hour. But I noticed there was one person not on tonight, scheduled like 8 of them all over like the next 2 weeks. And then
I'm sorry.
No, that wasn't you. No, it was someone else. And literally the next call will come up, and by the time we got to the 4th call, it's like, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? I said, well, did you get all the assignments done? And of course, you didn't have time to get all the assignments done. So you kind of need to know what's going on, what you're doing next to be able to set up the next call in most cases, so it doesn't happen a lot, but once a year that'll happen. Somebody has the idea, well, I'll schedule way in advance. I'll take all these available spots. And then, but that's really not strategic, so in any case, anything else, guys? That was really all I had for updates.
I was just curious, Gary, on the part that you're working on for the book this month. Is it the outline of classes, or is it your chapter, or what exactly?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is talk about given the story of an investor agent. That'll be like my story, how it got started.
Okay.
Probably maybe 3 to 4 chapters tops. That's it. But what I'm going to do is take them from where I got started to the point where I joined the XP, because I didn't actually launch. I had a team before, I just didn't call it the Global Investor Team. But what I do is position this, say, now we have the Global Investor Agent Team, and everybody who's on it are Global Investor Agents, but they're not every Global Investor Agent is on the team. Because I want to make sure everybody in the world of agents knows that they have an opportunity to learn how to be an investor agent. It doesn't matter where they are or how they got started. So it's not meant to like promote the team. It's meant to promote the whole idea of being an investor agent. So then what I want to do, Stephanie, once I've mentioned Global Investor Agent, that'll be the end of my last chapter 3 or 4. Then we'll get into the people who are like you, who are investor agents, and you can give one example of something you worked on, or and one lesson you learned. Just make it a chapter with one particular focus. And then what we've got to do is weave it together. So it makes sense to a reader. In other words, it has to be consumable and digestible. And what that means is it has to make sense. It has to have a certain sequence and a cadence to it. It can't look like it's random, even though you'll be providing your own story. Technically, that's going to seem like, well, that's random. But what we'll do is we'll piece it together. So like your story might prepare the reader mentally for reading the next story. Does that make sense? Yep. Where the subjects make sense going in a certain sequence. That's the tricky part. And I think we're going to kind of have to do that for DME. So that's why I want to do my part by May, have you guys do your part in June. In July, we can do the massaging and customizing. then give it at the end of July, give it to Demi, let her do her magic. The more we can do, the better the product. You know, Demi's can't be an expert at everything in the world, but I will tell you in the past, she's really good at reading and learning and understanding what it is we're doing. I mean, just her intuitive ability is just off the chart, you know? So most times what a lot of people do, they actually hire ghostwriters. Have you ever heard of that term, a ghostwriter?
I've heard of it. I just don't know how much I don't know exactly what.
Well, I can tell you, the really bad ones will charge you $500. The really good ones will charge you, you know, anywhere from 5 to 50,000. So,
Wow.
but with what we're doing, like in my opinion, I'm not doing this to be a world famous author. I'm doing this to enlighten the world of agents to the whole idea of working with investors and investing themselves, you know?
Who went to, sorry, go
And so
ahead.
the audience is really the 2 million agents in North America and some investors who either have or were likely to get their license. So we can leverage the RIA groups around the country. I mean, we're not going to have any problem getting to be Amazon, you know, top seller status when you figure you got the agents and the investors, and those two groups are very easily identifiable and easy to connect with, you know. So
Who went to the commercial symposium today? Anyone go to that? Lisa, did you hear the Kevin part? You were there for it? Do you remember his last name? He's the guy that started infomercials. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, I have it up on my board. Hold on just a second.
He basically, okay, go ahead.
I still have pages up. His last name is Harrington.
Kevin Harrington. He did a whole thing on making your brand, making people aware of you, who you are as a human being. And one of his things was you need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to write a book.
Yep.
So
You know
this
what's interesting,
does
guys?
it perfectly. What?
He and I actually were in a mastermind together for several years.
I loved him. He was my
Yeah.
favorite part of the whole symposium today. He is awesome.
Yeah. I met him on the Queen Mary of all places. And
Wow.
yep. And
Maiden voyage?
it's docked in Long Beach. Do you guys know that? Yep. So that's where we met. And that mastermind, by the way, this is why I love masterminds. That one was $100,000 mastermind.
Wow.
And he was in it. But I think I'd just written my first book then, and I was green as they get. I mean, it was, when I look at my old stuff and the old videos, I don't know how I got any business done, you know, quite frankly. So, but he was one of the guys that said, you know, some people are naturals at basketball, some people are naturals at being on the front of the video camera, whatever. He said, it doesn't matter though, everybody can learn, you know, if you just keep working at it, don't give up. And so we were together for probably a couple of years. And last time I saw him was in actually St. Pete in Florida. But the guys I was working with, they still work with him a lot because he's really easy. He's very approachable. And I promise you, if you reach out to him, he'll talk to you, you know?
Wow.
So yeah, it's a rare breed. So yeah, write a book. Okay. Let's see, any other transaction related items or?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask you on the, gosh, I'm brain dead. I've been on the computer all day long. On the, my trip to Orlando, our investor thing. Are you going to schedule a meeting? I want to book my flights and I don't want to miss it if I fly all the way over there because it's looking like a chunk, really expensive and a long flight. So I want to make sure I get together with everybody.
Our dinner, Gary, you were going to get our dates for our dinner.
Yeah. What I want to do is check first. Andre, do you know if we're doing anything at the Honey Badger level there? Any special event or gathering?
Yeah, I think they're going to have Coach Burt coming in.
Woohoo.
I'm not sure what day. I think it's
Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know
we
if
should
it's the
do
day
that,
before or
guys, since there's just going to be 4 of us there, three or 4 of us. We should do that. Because every night there's going to be something. There's not going to be anything we're going to want to miss. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to be there Saturday, and I'll tell you where I'll be hanging out.
My house?
No, the pool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Coach Burt is going to be there June 21st. So Tuesday the 21st.
Okay. Now, is he there for EXPs, or is he there just to do something for us guys?
I believe it's gonna be for honey badgers.
Okay,
So I'll be okay if I fly out Wednesday, and then if I look at the 19th, I think on the schedule, let me look here. I think on the schedule, there's nothing except the registration and the opening party. So we could
Right.
actually have lunch by the pool or something that day.
I'll be there. Yeah, 5:30 is the cocktail reception. I definitely want to be part of that, but we could certainly,
You want to do lunch
Everybody
that
who-
day then?
what's that?
Want to do lunch that day?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's meet by the pool, and we'll have lunch by the pool, and you'll be able to pick me out. Trust me. So,
Pink skin,
yeah,
Pennsylvania skin.
yeah. I'll never forget one time somebody used that stupid spray on me. I look like
An Oompa Loompa?
oh, and I told her, I don't think this is going to work because it's windy and stuff's blowing everywhere. I said, oh, don't worry. I won't believe me. It was a mess, you know. So I use lotion. See, I'm the one with when I cake it out, I was like, man, you got enough lotion on? I say, probably not, you know. So I'm Irish and German. I need all I can get. So in any case, but we'll connect. We'll make plans. Let's do that. Have lunch that day. Have some fun. And then I'll be there till Wednesday noon. I've got an icon event Wednesday morning. And then I'm heading back to Inglewood after that for a couple of days. So, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, hope you have a wonderful evening and afternoon if you're on the West Coast, and evening. And next week, I think I'm actually teaching that one. That's the second. I know we have, yeah. So I'm teaching that one. Do we have a couple guests coming up in May, but I can't remember the dates. So, okay, guys. Have an awesome rest of the week. God bless you and your families.
Thanks,
Neil,
Gary.
welcome aboard again. Glad to have you. And welcome to all the guests. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.